how you guys doing out there? My name is Kenneth Bird. I'm the creator of Crystal Edge Technology projection screens using smart technology gain. Alright, so what I want to talk about here is sometimes I get these comments from individuals that come on YouTube or come on my channel, and they feel the need to say things that they're not well educated on. I suggest if you're going to do this, please look through my video archives, look at the tests and the demonstrations that I do with my screen paint. I do demonstrations and I do tests that the average normal person does not do. I don't half-step my product. I don't shy away from ambient light. I don't use controlled lit environments. I don't use dark rooms. Now I use I use dark rooms from time to time if I'm showing up the screen's capability with the lights out, because I get a few of those requests from time to time. But in my demonstrations, usually the lights are on. Also too, on top of that, I test my screens against some of the most superior screens on today's market, such as what I have against the screen right now is, let me show you what we got here. We have Elite Screens Dark Star 9. We have the Cinema Gray 5D. And then over here, we have the Supernova. All right. Now, this is just to prove, and I really don't have to prove this because I've done these demonstrations over and over again and again and again. The superiority of our screens versus some of these high-tech screens on the market. Now here's the thing, not only can our screens be used by short throws and long throws, they can be used in well-lit environments, but they can outperform some of these expensive screens on the market. Mind you, our lowest kit, which is a 1-quart kit that can paint anywhere from up to a 100-inch screen, with neon lights, with frog tape, with the surface that comes with it, a surface that's 4 feet by 13 feet wide. That's a huge freaking surface. Gives you the option of choosing your own ratio size. Our screens come with 3 color options. You can have the Ultra 4K Black, the Dark Silver, or you can have the Ultra Light Silver 3D, which is another amazing deal with our screens. Now, not only that is, our screens will cost you 10 times less. Now, mind you, a 100-inch Dark Star 9 by Elite Screens would cost you in the range of $2,000 to $3,000. The Cinema Gray 5D would cost you in the range of maybe $1,200. The Supernova for 100-inch 16:9 would cost you $3,000 to $4,000. Now mind you, this is an infinity sample. All right. Now the Crystal Edge screen at the big 180. This is half the size, actually a quarter of the size of the big 180, because it's an 8 feet high. The screen is 7 feet high, 12 feet long. The big 180 is 8 feet high, actually 9 feet high, 12 feet wide. That screen is only $443. The 100-inch screen is $260, and our 120 to 150 is $343. Now, ask me this question real quick. Just think about this. I'm going to ask you something. What sounds better to you? Paying $100 for a Supernova that would cost you $3,000 to $4,000, or any of these screens right here are nowhere near under $1,000, or buying the Crystal Edge Technology Screen Paint Kit and having a screen that can outperform these screens, be used in well-lit environments, short throw and long throw projectors, and it doesn't make a difference of the color of your walls, and it would cost you 10 times less. Now, for those of you who like to come on my YouTube channel and say, hey, this is just low primer paint, and this is what it does. Let me explain something to you. Before you make such a comment, please go through my archives, do the research on my company, see the kind of tests that I do before embarrassing yourself on my channel. The reason why is because I'm going to post a lot of links under your comment showing you and backing you up, backing up my my research. Also, I have demonstrations where these screens have blown out TVs. So please, I can't express enough to do your research first before making such a comment. Now, the difference now, let me explain something to you for you to understand. If this was a low primer, well, pretty much that means any paint out there on the market would be able to beat a Supernova with no problem, would be able to beat these Elite screens with no problem, would be able to beat these stored AV screens with no problem. If that was the case, there'd be no point in these companies charging this much money for a screen if anyone can just beat the screen with just simple everyday low primer paint. That's why I say you must learn to do your research first, do your homework first before coming out and spouting out things. And I gotta put a bunch of links under your comment and reply back to you, showing you my research, showing you that you are so dead wrong, it's not even funny. Understand? Alright, so let's move on. Sorry, I got to do that from time to time. You'd be surprised the kind of people that will come on my channel and just they don't even look at the other videos. They just look at the screen and go, oh yeah, because the screen has some samples on it, like this. They'll go, oh yeah, it's just low primer paint. But then when they see the screen blow out the Supernova, they go, oh, you didn't know that, did you? All right then, do your work, do your homework. All right, so let's remove this really quick. And already you're seeing a difference. There we go, we have our Supernova right there. We have the Gray Cinema 5D, which fell off the screen, and we have the Dark Star 9. Let's go over and let's grab that really quick. Now, something else too I want to talk about, which a lot of people, what people do know, some people know, some people don't know. Screens such as this have something called a narrow viewing angle. Now that means when you're watching the screen on an angle, it turns dark around the corners. So when you turn to the side, the screen will become dark. Not all screens are plagued with this, but certain screens are plagued with the narrow viewing cone. And that's one of the problems that I get from a lot of people, not problems, but something I get from a lot of customers that'll tell me like, hey look, I bought this screen, and when I turn to the side, it turns dark. That's because your screen, the projector has to be uncentered. Wow, he's just giving up left and right. These sample sheets are like, no, I don't want to go against your screen. Now see, I just want to show you real quick. See how the screen looks here on the Elite screen? It'll change. So it'll go from, let me go right here with the projector. Say, hey, it'll look light here, and then it'll get dark. A light here, and it gets dark. That comes from this comes from the narrow viewing cone. It causes the screen to get really dark. It reflects light. I don't know how it reflects light, but it just gets dark as if you move it. If you lay it on the ground, it's light, and then as you bring it up, it's darker. So on how you move it, it reflects back and forth. All right, so let's start this now. For any more sample sheets decide to give up on me. I'm doing this fully lit room. And the reason why I'm doing this with a video with a lot of bright colors is because, as I said before, a lot of these screens suffer from something called oversaturation of contrast levels, and this is where the screen produces so much of a heavy contrast level. The screen becomes kind of dirty or kind of dingy when it comes to bright colors. I'm sorry if the sound's a little low. I had a chime to hook up the sound bar. For those of you who don't know, I just moved into this house. Now you see how the Cinema 5D looks good, but it still has a bit of a silvery kind of color to it, especially when it comes to pure whites. See what I'm talking about? But even though it is a good screen, it really is, it just can't produce pure whites. Now look at the white on the Crystal Age technology screen. And look at this Supernova. Now mind you, Supernova is a $3,000 to $4,000 projection screen. Come over here, I'll break my neck, trip over something. Now, you see the angle gain? There is the Cinema Gray 5. You can see the angle gain, the screen will start to become dark as I turn. Now I can sit right back here. I'm in my dining room. Look at the performance of our screen back here. And this is what you're getting. If you have not to bring down any of these screens, not to talk bad about them, but you're seeing it right here. If you own a Supernova, this is what you're getting from this angle. And look at the Gray Cinema 5D. Now this is the reason why our product sells. Number one, we have this in a fully lit environment. Look at this screen, fully lit environment. The walls are bright white. We can use this with a short throw and long throw projector. And I can hit this screen on any angle I want. It's going to look fantastic. Now if you got a family member sitting right here and you're watching the game, this is what you're getting. Come over here for a minute. I'll come back a little bit on this. I'm near the end of my demonstration. We got the lights out. See if we can tell how beautiful our screen looks. At $268 for 1 quart. Think about that. Supernova right there. Easily for a 100-inch screen would easily cost you $3,000 to $4,000. Think about what you can do with all that extra money. Here I'm over by the door. Look at my angle by look at the ability of our screen on an angle. Now I just want to add real quick, now our screen paint can be painted on any surface that you choose, But the reason why we pack in the surface, a free surface that comes with it, so it makes it a little easier when you're building or designing your own projection screen. The same surface that I have on this screen is the same surface we get to all our customers, and this is the exact same screen paint. Actually, I made a huge batch of this, about 5 gallons of it. This is the exact same screen paint that we sell. Actually, we are actually sold to a bunch of customers this weekend. So they have the exact same screen paint. Ouch, that's me tripping over something in the dark again. So as you can see, our screens are absolutely fantastic with the lights on. You see the smart technology gain kicking in. That's the Supernova quitting. He is done for the day. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, as I said before, we had the Black Friday Cyber Monday sale. That price is now permanent. So our permanent price for the 1 quart will be $268. For the 1 quart, actually for the 2 quart kit will be $343, and for the big 180, the 1 gallon kit will be $443. And yes, that will include free worldwide shipping. As you can see from here, the ability of our screens is outstanding. Even in a fully lit room, even with the lights out, they can outperform some of these high-end screens. And that way you don't have to spend a ton of money just to have a high performance screen. And it works with just about any projector you could think of. All right, guys, I'm Kenneth Bird. Well, let's not go with them Chinese cheap projectors. I don't think you want to go down that route. I've used a couple of them, but you know what I'm talking about. Basically, as in lumen-wise. Oh, just want to add real quick, just one thing I want to update really quick. The Ultra 4K Black has to be used with projectors of 2500 lumens and up, but as for the dark silver, ultralight silver, it can be used with projectors of low as 300 lumens. Okay guys, I'm Kenneth Bird from Crystal Edge Technology Projection Screens using smart technology gain. Hope you enjoyed this video demonstration. Thank you all for watching. I'm gonna pick up the Supernova. He's done for the day. All right, you guys.